And we are live. Good evening, happy peeps. We are back. We're back. Our lights are on. Cyril has opened the liquor. It's happy days. But then again, get put down to level 2 and ESCOM gives us stage 2. But we're here and we're doing this European roundup and joined by my gunner Fabo. How you doing, Khataya?
All good boys, all good boys.
And my favorite Barcelona fan in the world to give his take, Ty. How you doing, bruv?
I'm doing good. What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm good, my man. I'm good, my G. I'm good. All good. All good. So let's start off. Let's get right into it. I'm not even going to waste any time. Let's start off with
Elephant
the
in the room.
result.
The
Yeah,
elephant in
the
the room.
elephant in the room. I'll start with the result of the weekend. Barcelona 2, Bayern Munich 8. What did you make? You called it up. To be fair, on our last pod, you did say that. Look, you did say that you can't see you guys beating Bayern. I think we can both agree that they are the best team in the world. They are a powerful unit. So before we even dissect the game, what did you make of it? What are your thoughts? I see you guys have Koeman is now your new coach. But first, give us your
Yeah.
thoughts on the game. We'll dissect into Koeman just now. Give me your thoughts on the game.
Okay. Basically, the same thing that any other Barcelona fan had going into the game. You have a certain level of, you know what, Bayern is the best team in Europe, but at the same time, I feel like maybe we could cause an upset. Like I thought maybe most possibly there could be a 1-0 win coming for Barca or something like that. Because when I looked at Bayern, I was like, okay, whoa, look what they did to Chelsea. Look what they did to Tottenham. This is a
Ooh.
dangerous team that we're going up against. So I thought maybe, you know what, it's Barcelona. But if anything, that game opened my eyes to a lot of cracks in the team that I personally didn't see throughout the season. Like there was little glimpses here and there. But firstly, we don't have a leader on the pitch. And that's one of the biggest things that you could see from that. When we went 3-0 down, there wasn't a single player that was like, you know what? Come on, guys. It's only the third minute. We can still pull this up. If it wasn't for that own goal, I promise you, in the first 20 minutes, that game would have been 6-7-0 already, because there was the team just accepted the fact that, you know what, this is Bayern, they're gonna outrun us. Suarez, he tried so hard, but at the same time, you can see that his legs just can't handle it anymore. Messi was frustrated that entire game. Frankie de Jong was my hardest worker on that pitch, but he couldn't do anything because he was just being outplayed. Goretzka is one of the best midfielders in the world, and I saw it that game. Every single time he gets the ball, he looks for a pass. He doesn't miss a single pass. He bodies you off a ball. He's like the big muscular version of Kante, and I got such a fright watching him. Overall, 8-2. Obviously, I never ever expected it would be 8-2. I was expecting maybe a
No
4-0, 3-0, someone there. But 8-2 is something I never thought would have happened. But at the same time, it's things like this that needs to happen in order to open your eyes. Like if it wasn't for that loss, like Barcelona fans knew about the issues with the presidency and things like that. If it wasn't for that loss, it wouldn't have been as public as it is now that, whoa, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the doors at Barcelona. And I feel like, you know what, if a blessing comes from this, then I'm all for it. Then I'll always remember, you know what, I lost 8-2, but if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been where I am now. Then by all means. But it's obviously embarrassing being a Barca fan and experiencing that. But you know what? Things like this happen in football. You can be at the top one moment, you can drop off the next moment, but at the same time, you can always find your feet and always find success through all of these losses.
Yeah, true. I have to agree with everything you have said. It's just interesting to bring up Devin's comment that he left now as well. End of an era for the GOAT. What do you make of the rumors that Messi is leaving? Obviously, recruitment has been an issue at Barcelona. You've mentioned it before. What have you made of this whole Messi to be leaving? Don't know where he's going. And he said he wants to leave as soon as possible. So, what have you made of it?
To be honest with you, I'll take it as, the thing is, okay, there's a lot of factors to take into consideration. Like yes, Messi has been playing for Barcelona all his life. So obviously there is a certain level of dedication to the club. But also it's Messi at the end of the day. Like it's the Barca player. So like I don't I honestly think you should take it with a pinch of salt because if you look further than what he said, it also has to do with what PK said after the game, where he specifically said that change needs to happen. So the fact that both of the players came up with something like that kind of shows that okay, there's obviously been talks about this in the dressing room. There's clearly so much players that are unhappy with the current situation at Barcelona. So I think Messi is using the power that he has within the club that say that okay, well, if Messi leaves, everyone's going to keep speaking. So I think that's his way of kind of commanding. The president needs to go out of the club. I don't want to sit with this coach that I'm unhappy with. I want changes to happen in the club now, and this is my way of doing it. So it's kind of like he's playing hardball with the club, and if they don't go with if they don't listen to his, then they'll just be like, okay, wait, then I'll just leave. Then you guys will sit without me, and you know how that's going to affect you. So personally, I don't think he's actually going to leave because firstly, there's other things to think about also in the current situation that the world is now with the coronavirus and all that stuff. First of all, who can really afford Messi? Because we are like, if so much clubs are losing money, do you really think Messi would want to take a pay cut from his 1.5 million per week that he's earning? Do you think he's going to take a pay cut to go somewhere else? Never. Also, there's other stuff. There's also other clauses in his contract because it's past June. He can't leave until February. That's the one thing because in his contract it states he can leave for free whenever he wants to, but he needs to notify the club with at least between January till June so that the club can make the necessary arrangements and all that. And also on top of it, the one thing no one ever spoke about was the fact that Messi's not allowed to leave to another European club. So that was the biggest thing that a lot of people never knew about, but it was
Mm.
the big print on his contract. So whenever he left, he was only ever going to go to America, Argentina, or anything like that. Because
Mm.
else, why do you think
Yes,
Barcelona would give him a contract like that? So
exactly.
I think it's nothing bad. I don't think he's actually going to leave, but it is a smart move from a player's perspective, and he realizes this is all I can do, or else the club is just going to keep doing this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100% with what you are saying. Just before I bring Fabo into it, I just wanted to ask you a question. Do you think that, look, I know you guys have had the Coutinhos, you've had some mad players coming
Hmm.
to your club over the years. You've had Griezmann, your Dembele. Do you think that it wasn't
Yeah.
a case that everything is built so and centered so much around him that it's made those players actually struggle? Do you know what I mean? Like they don't get on with Messi and that type of thing. Do you think it was such a case as well? And have Barcelona been focusing too much in the sense that they're looking for a replacement for Messi and not rectifying other areas? What are your thoughts on that? And just Faber, once he's done, I want to give your thoughts on that as well.
Def.
The thing is, I think it's okay. Think of it like this. This is the best way. I could start off with an example. It's like it's like Ronaldo kindly being the focal point at Juventus. Everything ends off with him at when Juventus is building the attack. Every single attack now comes to the end of okay, we're gonna give the ball to Ronaldo, we can let him shoot, we can do whatever. Barcelona play a certain way so that everything goes through Messi. Yes, it is an issue because like clearly we saw in the game against Bayern Munich, when you cut him off to a certain extent and you cut off his ability to
Mm.
pass, Barcelona does kind of we go into a shell. We're like, okay, what do we do now? The problem with the signings that we made specifically was there was never any thought given into the signings also because one thing of okay, Messi does get a lot of the responsibility in the club. Also, there was never any thought put behind our signings because we took on players like Coutinho, we took on players like Griezmann and Dembele. No one ever thinks about the fact that Dembele was when he was playing at Dortmund, he was a right wing, he wasn't a left wing, but we forced him to play on there. Now if you were a left-footed player, you like to cut in. It's kind of like imagine taking Ian Robin in his
Yeah,
prime
Robin,
and
yeah.
telling him, you know what, I want you to play on the left. That's basically what we did with Dembele. But we're like, okay, no way, he's a talented youngster. He should be able to play wherever we put him. That was the first issue. Then he started hitting some injury problems. Then we were like, okay, you know what? Coutinho is performing at Liverpool. Why don't we sign him? Same thing. We signed him in. I was excited and I spoke about it where I still said I can see him being the replacement for Iniesta because they played the exact same kind of style. He likes to get in on it. And I was like, okay, wait, I can see this happening. But then what did Barca do? We played him on the left wing. And that was an issue because like it's the same thing. It's a talented player, but if you can't play on the wing, then obviously it's gonna hurt you. And also with that big price tag on his shoulders, that's what everyone thought about with Coutinho. I was like, okay, well he has to perform. And in my personal opinion, like he wasn't even that bad in his first season. Then what we did was okay, wait, throw Coutinho away. We need another player now, and then that scapegoat just so happened to be Griezmann, and that was the issue. It was because for when we signed Coutinho, the main target was Neymar. We couldn't get Neymar back, so it's like, okay, well, let's go for Coutinho. When it was Griezmann, our main target was Neymar. We couldn't get him, so then it's Griezmann. That's the issue.
Yeah.
We've been struggling to fill that spot so much, and it's nothing about the players because all of these players are talented in their own right. Dembele is so talented, but his issue is his injuries, like an old Jabi. But
Jabi.
they are
Yeah,
they are so talented. Like Griezmann has it in to be an amazing striker, but Barcelona never ever gave him the right of okay, you know what? We'll sell off Suarez, and you will be our focal point. You'll play through the center, and then you'll pick up whatever. I think Messi does take up too much of the responsibility, but also who am I to say that because he's the best player in the world. Everything runs through him, and even at his age, he still is the best. So, like, there's obviously a reason why the things run through him, but I think personally, it was just there was never any planning in our signings, and that's what hurt us so badly. Like, if I could throw out so many names that I think, okay, we should have signed this player, we should have put it in, but like, for example, let's say we had to give out the money and instead of signing Griezmann, we went and signed Sterling, for example. Sterling, when we could have got him for like 60 million. I'm sure he would have had a better impact because he's more adapt to that specific position than taking Griezmann, who's a striker, who's a false nine, throwing him on the wing. Coutinho was an attacking midfielder, throwing him out on the wing, and then Dembele was on the right, throwing him out on the left. So that's the thing. But yeah.
Yeah, true. We lost Dale, but I'm sure he'll come back into it. No, 100%. I find it very difficult to agree. Fabo, Ty has just mentioned a lot down to recruitment. I think we can sympathize and empathize with him that we have not a lot. We've as Arsenal fans, we have very much in common besides the scoreline that Barcelona received the other day. What do you think has been the issue for them in terms of their recruitment? Where do you think Barcelona need to rectify this? And the last question, which I want to ask you also is, this is the first time that there is no Spanish, Italian, and English team. Everybody likes to say the German Bundesliga is a bad league, one-sided league. The French league is a farmers league. Farmers league. There you go. What do you make of it now? Is it just the fact that clubs, the leagues in Europe, your Spain, your Spain to an extent that is technical, your German league, your French league, are they just ahead of the curve in sense of grooming their players compared to England? Just give me your thoughts, basically.
Okay. Look, I'm going to start with the first one, what I also said. When you say about the whole question that on-field leadership that you guys are missing, since the whole Puyol left, there's never really been a leader. And let's be honest, you can't replace Puyol so easy. It's the same with Arsenal. You can't replace Vieira. That is that once-in-a-lifetime type of leader. And of course,
then you got Thomas from Ireland.
But okay, this is where I also
what about Fabo?
Between Ronnie and Messi. Like the people's always going on about this. At all time, you saw Messi 3-0 down. He's sitting in the cloakroom. He's given up already. At half time, he's already said, you know what, guys, just take your boots off and just do whatever you want to do. Everyone just looked dejected. Then they compared it to what happened with Juventus when they were down. And Ronnie, you could see him there trying to spur on the players, say, look here, we can still do it. We are still in this. that is where people are saying, has that really been the real decision as to who's the GOAT? Because yes, Messi is the greatest, but he's the greatest only on field. He doesn't show that behind the scenes. Lots of people always criticize Ronnie as being this arrogant bruh. But he's the one dude who won't stop fighting. We've seen what he's done for Portugal as well, even when he went down injured. The man strapped himself up, got onto the sideline, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna be the assistant coach also. Messi again in the what's the name? In the finals again against Chile. What does he do? He just crashed. So again, that's what I said. We have seen it's a simple debate that's done now. We've seen who is the real greatest of all time. And unfortunately, I have to say it is Ronaldo. He's proved it on and off the field. For me, that's what I think personally. No?
Yeah.
Okay. Going on to your game also, that 8-2 as well. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
It was honestly something else. We know it's gonna be ruthless. And that everyone knew it was gonna be ruthless, but no one expected that badly. Like on a serious note, they exposed every single Barcelona player on that day. Like you also say, and what you want to say with regards to the whole recruitment process. The thing is, whoever gets signed, are signed just to play with Messi. Not to replace Messi, as to play with Messi. Messi decides who gets signed, who gets played where. If you don't like it, there's the door. Simple as that. Like Eto also said recently, Messi is Barcelona. If Messi leaves, they must change the name of the club.
Yeah.
So it shows you he has the say. With regards to the president as well, I'm sure if he must just hold out a little bit longer also and say, I'm not happy, I refuse to play, they will get rid of that president. Because Messi has say. He says who's the coach gonna be, who's the players going to be signed. As simple as that. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but like I said, when it comes to Messi, yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, true. I have to agree. Good evening, Mr. Williams. How are you, bro?
Evening, gentlemen. Sorry, yo. I don't know why I'm always
I'll come
prepared
back
for this
for the
chat,
fourth
but
time. Man.
10 minutes before, then my Wi-Fi just kicks me out. But I'm happy to be here uninterrupted. But let's get to it.
I'm glad to have you here. Just you, as you've heard, we're discussing the Barcelona Bayern Munich game. As a question, I want to throw to you, because your team actually gave me the worst beating I've ever received. Which was worse out of Barcelona and Bayern Munich, Germany and Brazil, and United and Arsenal 8-2.
United and Arsenal. We played with 7 defenders in that game.
Thank you.
Wow.
We played with
You want me to bring back my
seven
lineup that
defenders.
I had versus you?
It doesn't matter. We played with 7 defenders, my man. 7 defenders, and we beat you 8-2.
You know what players I had also?
Did you see what players
No,
we
it
had on
doesn't matter.
the whole record?
I
Jenkins.
can't be
I have
held
the likes
accountable for your starting
The
lineup.
Brazilian
We had 7
Neymar,
defenders.
the David
We had Darren-
Luiz's, all of them. That
My
were
man,
players at their peaks. At their peaks, and they still lost. So how can you say the Arsenal loss is the worst one? If you compare
My
the
man,
players to
All I know is Ashley Young
whether
didn't
you
score
come,
against me.
whether you compare the players or not, the fact of the matter is we had 7 defenders in a starting lineup. A makeshift team. It could have been 1-0, 2-1, 2-1, but it was 8-2, my bro. 8-2.
You know what? I'm gonna
Not to-
Google it actually to see who the.
Yes, Google it. Google it. I remember that game like it was yesterday. You'll see there's a Michael Carrick somewhere in the back line. There's a Darren Fletcher. Darren Gibson, Fabio, Rafael.
I'm
Where's
Googling it.
Where's Brown? Google it, my man. You'll be shocked.
No.
It was 7 defenders.
No
Google
ways.
it.
No ways. No ways.
Not no ways.
I'm googling it
Thank
now
you.
as we speak.
Thank
You're gonna
you.
compete
Your internet is
our
slow, my man.
Arsenal team.
Your
Our
internet is slow,
Arsenal
there,
team
Davy.
was
Your internet is
bad.
slow.
I'm googling it now as we speak.
The
Ty,
thing-
what do you say? Which was the worst out of the lot?
All I'm gonna say is that
Ooh.
Arsenal and Man United was obviously the worst because in the Barca game, I didn't have Danny Welbeck score against me. Ashley Young scored 2 against me, and then an old in his yell Jusang Park score against me.
Okay,
So
okay.
I had world class players
Whoa,
give
whoa,
me
whoa.
Wait, let me say
And
something.
was
Let me
and
say
wasn't
something.
You're gonna do it
wasn't
today.
that
You're gonna do it
wasn't
because I
that
do.
two
You-
worldies from Ashley Young also?
No. Let me say something also. No?
yeah,
Remember
the
who
bender.
you had in your Barca team? Remember who you had in your Barca team? You had Messi, no? You had your
Yeah.
Griezmann, you had your Suarez, you had Ter Stegen. Remember Ter Stegen is dubbed to be the new German number 1. Just remember that, no? You have your PK there at the back. You have the next great midfielder that came from Ajax, who blew so much money on there. Nah? And you telling me that team still got 8 I compared to Arsenal. One of your players is the equivalent of my whole entire my lineup over there.
Boom!
And you're going to tell me
Booyah!
my one was worse. When
Okay.
I had
Okay.
Darwin from
Thank
Marco, didn't have a
So
Okay.
now-
hairline.
Okay.
very nice.
My
Very
one
nice.
So you said-
mentioning now.
Robert Van
I have
Persie,
the lineup here.
Andre
David-
Arshavin, Theo Walcott, Thomas Azitsky, Alan Ramsey,
And wasn't
Coquelin,
Arshavin supposed to be the
Szczesny,
Russian
who's now
Messi
the
at that
number
time?
1 for Juventus. Yeah, you look at the players
How
you
long ago was that?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
said. That's the players you said. You said a solid team.
Davy and Fabo, you can't. I always
I
say
have
that Davy, we had this
called old-timers
conversation.
in my
We had
team, it
this
doesn't-
conversation.
I know you're gonna try to say whatever you have to justify getting 8 against Bayern, but no ways, man.
I'm sorry.
I always say, is your Google working fine, David? Did you see the 7 defenders? 6 or 7?
quite fine. I'll first give you the Arsenal
No,
lineup
no. Not first. Was it 6 or 7 defenders?
of United. No,
Yes.
no.
Okay, mention the players.
Kaya, Smalling, that's 1. Jones, Evans, Evra, Nani, Cleverly, Anderson, Ashley Young, Rooney, Welbeck.
Come,
Okay.
how much
Now,
is that? How much is that?
but remember, include the subs. Include the subs. Include the
No, no, no.
substitutions. Include the substitutions.
Okay, the substitutions were
Substitution?
Giggs for Anderson on the 68th minute, Jisung Park for Danny Welbeck, and
Okay.
Chicharito for Nani.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
What
4.
now? What now?
So,
What happened to your memory?
4.
So what's the
What
Okay.
happened to your memory?
Okay, so let me.
You
I
have
need to look at. I need to look at that
Come
formation
on,
again.
go on.
But
I can show
But-
you, bro.
Is your Google working? Is your Wi-Fi working? Want us to reload your Wi-Fi quickly for you?
Show you, bro. I can send it to you.
okay, at the end of the day, it's still. Oh no! I will still go what Ty says. If you have Danny Welbeck, my
Thank
man,
you.
scoring against you, if you have all our players, we never
Didn't
had
Welbeck knock you out of the
a
FA Cup
solid
also?
starting team. Yeah,
Didn't
that was
Welbeck
a
knock
mistake
you out
between my
of the FA
defender and my goalkeeper, and he capitalized on that. But at the end of the days,
So he knocked you
I
out.
will still choose
He knocked you
United's
out.
8-2
Devin is
over
all funny.
Barcelona. Yeah, he's actually very funny. He's funny because of the FA Cup
Yeah.
title. You guys are just living your best lives, no?
Yeah.
Carry on, big man. You were saying? I'm listening to you.
Yeah, but that also doesn't take away. Like I believe, for me personally, because I'm a United supporter, I'm gonna choose United's 8-2 win over Arsenal because of the rivalry. If you take someone that's unbiased or someone that's Switzerland, they will of course look at it from both point of views. But because of me, I'm gonna go with the 8-2 over United with United and Arsenal. But
I
no
will.
one
Let me just read
expected.
out the Arsenal
No
lineup
one.
for you. Let me read the Arsenal lineup for you. Chesney,
Okay.
Jenkinson got sent off.
Oh,
Yeah.
Juru,
oh,
Koscielny,
thank you.
Traore,
Yeah,
Ramsey, Coquelin, Rosicky, Walcott, Van Persie, Arshavin.
thank you.
Substitution, Oxlade Chamberlain, who just signed.
Oshivin was supposed to be the Russian Messi or something at that time.
Arshavin was on the
Van
decline.
Persie,
I
you
believe
know.
that. Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, man. That time is really on the
Kevin,
decline, man.
one thing I like about you Arsenal supporters, no? One thing I like about you Arsenal supporters, you throw away your players very quickly, my bro. Very, very,
Uh-huh.
very
Hey,
quickly.
don't
Uh-huh.
compare to
he really
Barcelona.
Arshavin
Don't you
was
dare
go
compare
to
to
your room and
Barcelona.
confess that Arshavin sweater if you still have it or if you didn't burn it yet.
do have an
Yeah.
excellent.
Then then
Oh, wait,
Percy.
wait.
Welbeck.
You
Welbeck and Arsenal
you
this
big fan
season
of
would have scored
Scotland.
more goals than Lacazette.
Leave
Hey,
Laka. Laka's
that's
my guy.
fighting words now.
um
But
I
look,
know I know. But yeah, so actually, before you go over, I never expected that 8-2 thrashing. But one thing that I do know of, and something that what a good coach will always do is that backline of Barcelona. You can expose it backline any day, but because that the players were not replaced, that retired over the last 5 or 6 seasons, um, that same football that they try to play or they try to keep, it has to change. The whole setup of Barcelona has to change. And I'm happy that they reached the point now where big name players are now sulking or wanting to leave. That whole Messi situation, um, not coming to the game, like I don't know what happened at halftime or whatever, but he was sulking. And that for me just shows that the character of a football player, you don't do that. You are
The
arguably
captain.
the greatest. You are the greatest. And to show that type of performance, that took me back to the World Cup. When they had the same attitude and stuff like that. But for Bayern to do that 8-2, yeah, that's something we probably won't see again. We won't see again. But man, oh man, they came to the party. They came all guns blazing, and they basically got their whole tactic right. I don't even know the tactic was supposed to beat Arsenal. Barcelona 8-2, but my man, everything was done perfectly
2-0.
by the German club.
Yeah,
2-0 by PSG now. Sorry, what say. 2-0 by PSG.
Who's that?
2-0.
I
Oh,
think
Marquinhos
the
yeah.
and
whole thing is, I think the whole reason why Messi was also so angry and why he was sulking specifically was because, remember, it was a massive buildup of emotion because, like, all the Barca fans know that this entire season was hard for Messi. Like, we lost the title to Real Madrid. He had a public falling out with both the president and with Eric Abidal, specifically over how they were blaming the squad for a lot of things that was happening. Like, there was a lot of things that was happening this season, and then that feeling of knowing that, okay, whoa, our last thing we have is the Champions League. We're already coming into this game as underdogs, and now it's 2-0 down in the we 2-1 down in the first 20 minutes, 3-1, and
yeah,
then the score got to 4-1 the first half. So imagine that feeling of like, hey, I'm playing in this team, I'm so angry, and now we're losing 4-1. It's that. And also remember, like, it could have been worse on him because if you know that you're the main player in the team and you understand that, okay, yeah, everything has to come through me, and you suffocated out of position, then that also eats it. You see, he was like, whoa, I could do nothing. He had one chance the entire game. That was that solo that he ran. That I think he should have scored. That was the only one.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
like, I was breaking it down to Rostel, and then I was telling him, like, if you watch how Bayern Munich was playing, that was the perfect lineup that they had. Every single time a Barca player touches a ball, one midfielder, either the left back or the right back, and then the closest player to him will close you down. So whenever you get it, there's three players covering you. That's why there was a few chances that Barca had where they just put the ball over the top and then we all of a sudden had a chance. It's because they did that three-man marking formation, and that was so cool because they get you out of position.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so smart. But Semedo killed it for us in the first half, and that's how we kept until we got to like 4-1. Then the problem became Jordi Alba. Then it was PK who was doing nothing. But It was
You
the entire back line was the problem. We had Busquets who didn't know what to do because he wasn't used to a system like that. Frankie de Jong was doing too much. Vidal was just running everywhere on the pitch doing nothing. Like I've never
What
seen a
do you
player
guys
run
think
9 kilometers
of
and do
that?
nothing.
What do you think of that Frankie de Jong and Busquets partnership?
no.
Good question.
De Jong
Like
is
I
supposed to
don't see
replace
Very
I don't
good
see
Busquets.
that
question.
partnership flourishing at all.
Not at
Mm.
all.
I don't know
Look, it's like
if it's a
the
grooming
thing of comparing
situation
the
for Frankie de
analog
Jong
to
to
digital.
officially. Huh?
It's a matter of
What is
analog
it?
playing or digital. It's two very old school versus new school setup for me.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if it's a grooming phase where like put the two together and kind of like, okay, this is how you do things. That's just the and this is how you do things, and then take it over. But to put them two together, my man, it's I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't know, like if you guys see it, but that for me, that's gonna leave them exposed for games to come in the new season.
I agree.
It
I agree
does.
100% with you.
The issue
So
with it
yeah,
is De
they actually
Jong
have
does not play that. De Jong doesn't play that position. That's the thing. We playing De Jong
yeah.
as the creative spark in the midfield. Now,
Mm,
the issue with that was that position should be filled by someone like a Coutinho or even Carlos Alenia. We sent down on loan, or that's why when Ricky Poi came into the team, he changed it up, and then all of a sudden now it's like, whoa, where's this coming from? Because he doesn't do that. His position is
yeah.
exactly where Busquets is, and he plays like vintage Busquets because all he does
Mm,
is he sits in a position, he just watches what's going on, he gets the ball, then he'll go forward and and spread a couple of passes. But
yeah.
he's a player that by his technique he is creative, but
Mm,
he doesn't want his game to be about that. He actually is a defensive midfielder. Just we don't play him like that. For the Netherlands, they
mm,
play him in that position, and that's why he shines so much. For Ajax, they played him like that, and that's why he shines so much.
mm,
But Busquets needs. It's the same thing. It's the same example with Griezmann and Suarez. We signed one in, so now it's like, whoa, but now we have two. So why don't we just put the new signing there on that side? Which is what
yeah.
we're doing with Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong is supposed to be the defensive midfielder, but because Busquets is there, he won't be able to play there.
Yeah.
That's true. No, lovely, well said. Just firstly, I want to say thank you to Ross, Nat, and Devon in the comments. I'm sure they're still watching. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Remember, the show is open to anyone. So if you want to come on my first WhatsApp status, the StreamYard one is where you can actually come on, give your opinion. The second one is actually the link to the channel. So yeah, Fab, I want to bring you into this. Koeman is the next manager. There are rumors of Arsene Wenger taking over now the Netherlands job. I don't know about that so much, but I want to talk about that. Because personally, I think Wenger will get a heart attack within the first 6 months of the Netherlands job. But do you think Koeman is the man to maybe steady the ship at Barcelona, similar to our Arsenal situation where we were in tatters and Arteta steadied our ship from what we've seen thus far? I know it's early to tell with Arteta, but what do you think about Koeman?
It's a bit hard to say. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit shocked to hear he actually got that post. I mean, looking at his CV, looking at his Southampton days, I mean, he took Southampton down. Then to
Hmm.
hear he's now the new Barcelona coach at like, yeah, the big step up.
Was
If
he
you
at
look at
Everton?
all,
Wasn't he at Everton? I was standing in the correction though. Wasn't he at Everton as well?
yes,
Yeah.
Everton,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was. Yes, he was.
Mm,
And you
Oh.
look at his CV and you're like, how? But then you look at like, but I also think of it as this could actually be like a grooming thing. In other words,
Hmm.
meaning they just need someone there until Xavi decides this time I want to come step up now. Because
True.
that is the whole entire big room of not lying tie, where initially they wanted Xavi to come take over, but Xavi ended up signing another extension there in Qatar. Was it Qatar or Abu Dhabi? One of the two years at
One of
his
the
new
two,
club.
yeah.
Qatar.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, Qatar. So for me, it's like it's a weird one. It could even be described as the whole Moyes situation after Ferguson, as just a buffer until they get like the actual person. Because for me, it's about can Koeman really do it?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
I honestly don't know what to say about Koeman.
yeah, we've
What
spent like a
options does what options did Barcelona have?
There's a lot. They had Poch is there on a break.
Pochettino, yeah? That
Yeah,
Pochettino?
Poch is on a break. He's available to be coached. Um, Max is also
Nah, but the thing
available.
with
Max hasn't had a new job since he left Juve. He's just been
Hmm.
chilling over there waiting for his opportunity. So you can't tell me there wasn't options. There was a crap ton of options, but for
Mhm.
some reason they believe that Koeman is the right person. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
We don't know because of his coaching style, because of his status as a person. He's when he was
Hmm.
playing during his playing career. So maybe that's what they
Hmm.
needed there at Barcelona. But yeah, I don't know what to say.
Oh, Johan Cruyff thing, yeah. But look, we've spent a whole half an hour talking about Barcelona. I'm sure Ty is tired of talking of it. Move on to the next one.
never.
I'm worried, Dale, it's not you. I'm worried about talking about your neighbors. Man City, Leon, Dale,
Oh,
talk to me. Discuss.
Noisy neighbors. And they'll only
Noisy
be
neighbor.
noisy neighbors.
Is Pep a
Money does
fraud?
not buy you Champions League trophies, my man.
yeah, Ross also says the same.
Bossing to fill the spot until Xavi is ready to. Yeah. Um, money doesn't buy you Champions League trophies. And for me, Pep is doing all. I don't know. Pep is the only person that has taken City as far as um, the semis or the quarters. But for me, like, what more does City need to do? What more do they need to do in order to go to the next level in European football?
True.
You know? So Sterling again, a sitter. I like it when Sterling misses sitters, my bro. I
Yeah, for
love
me,
it.
it's the
I
expensive man
love it.
Walcott. Walcott will score as many goals in City's team. I promise you.
But look,
Promise
look,
you.
I
James,
like it, man.
James,
I
James,
like it
James,
when
it's,
when a
nah,
boy sits there
look.
and he misses
That's the
sitters like,
simple
yeah.
case of. Nah, but look, James, you have to give it to him there also a little bit. Nah, it's a simple case, same as Torres against United. You guys
Yeah.
forget every single thing he done before that miss. Torres scored in that United game and Torres was revitalized. He missed the sitter. That's all everyone remembers. Same as De Bruyne. I mean, with with Sterling and De Bruyne. Sterling set up
Mm.
De Bruyne's goal. He was on fire. Yes, it happened at the worst possible time, but yeah, you have to give the
Look,
guy a little bit of
they they, they,
leeway.
they, they, they knocked out Madrid, but is Leon just having a great season in the Champions League? Or was
In the
City
Champions,
just
yeah, they're seventh in League One, eh?
yeah, as I said,
Yeah.
they just having a good season in the Champions League, or was City just poor on the night? You know,
Yeah.
because let's look
I
also at
I
that
think
at
it's
the
the
Real
same.
Madrid game. Let's look at the Real Madrid and City game also. Varane was poor. He gave away those goals.
It was a mezza, bro.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
was madness.
So for me, it's just like they scraped through, because of Madrid's mistakes. But then they came through to a Leon squad, whereas they've just been flourishing the whole season in the Champions League, and then that sitter would have definitely kept them in the game. But that's football. It's
That's
a harsh
football.
sport, and you can get hurt. Once we go into the United topic, I can bring up many um you know topics about missing
Oh, don't
opportunities,
worry.
and at the end of
I'm
the day, you'll
saving my
get
next
punished.
beer for you, for United, actually. So I'm finishing this beer with Man City and all of that. When I go to the fridge to get me a beer, then I'm coming on to United.
You're
But
gonna get a cold
Ty,
one.
That topic
yeah,
for
I
lost. Let's
still
say that
want
topic
Yeah.
one.
for lost.
Ty, just on that, like Dale said, Pep Guardiola has never taken Manchester City to a semi-final at least in a Champions League. What do you think is the issue there? I posted it on my status. I was the one that said Pep Guardiola. Obviously said in a bit in jest, but
He is a fraud, yeah.
remember he was brought to City to win the Champions League. Bear that in mind because
Hmm.
City were winning leagues before that as well. Has he overachieved or has he underachieved at Man City? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a tough question actually. Um, Okay, to be honest with you, I think personally, I think he's underachieved in the sense that he was brought in specifically to win the Champions League, but for the team that he's built, a team that can last for the next few seasons, I think he's done good in that. But also, he's always going to be judged, no matter how good they do in the league. No matter even if the fact that they might challenge Liverpool next season, they might even be the team that wins the Champions League, wins the league next season over Liverpool. He's always going to be judged based on the Champions League because of how well he started off with Barcelona. And to a certain extent, you can say that it's it's just been the bad luck of the draw for City because of the teams that they've been knocked out by in the past. But also, when you're looking at Leon, like a lot of people want to put Leon down, like over like it was a shock that Leon won. But Leon is currently going through the exact same thing that Ajax went through last season. They're on such a hot run of form that they like, okay, wait, the only way we can get into the Champions League next season is by winning this thing. We have nothing else to play for. Let's just give our all every single game and let's just get it. And then because of that, their defense that conceded, if I'm not mistaken, it was 64 goals this season. That back line alone, that back line that conceded that amount of goals is now striving all of a sudden and basically kept out that attack from City. Pep Guardiola tried to do something different at City. He signed in the top players. He brought in the best that he possibly could. But to a certain extent, you also need to look at it like this man, give this team to another coach. Could they have done anything different? Could, like, for example, let's say Allegri or Zidane took over that City squad. Would he win the Champions League? Yes or no? And that's the thing. Like, I would have to give it to yes because that is a title-winning team. That's a team that should be playing in the Champions League every single. That's the team that looked like the favorites to win the Champions League before Bayern Munich even started picking up the results.
Yeah, true. Look, I agree with you to a certain extent, but then again, my argument to that is going to be they've gotten Monaco before they were dumped out. The year that they set all the records, they were humiliated by Liverpool 1 year. Now the Lyon one, they were dumped out by Spurs last year as well. So I don't know. I just feel that he can't splash so much on defenders, and he still can't get it right. I mean, everyone knew company was going to leave. Do you know what I mean? So now all of a sudden, I mean, when the season ended, he was the one that said, okay, look, now the only thing we can salvage from the season is now we'll go to Arsenal in the FA Cup and we'll focus on the Champions League. But again, he didn't even reach that. I mean, for all the money he's spent, he's only coming out with one calling cup. And he's like, what fucking 20, I don't know how many points behind Liverpool. Klopp has showed up his number again. So, what do you make it? Has he underachieved in the time as well? Bearing in mind, I agree to a certain extent of what Ty is saying. I hear those points are valid points made. What do you think?
Look, I have to say, like Devon was said in the message, he has underachieved. It's like when you sign at Juventus. Look what they did to, what's the name? To Mr. Smokey the Bear. He won the league, but they still sacked him. So that's what it comes down to.
Yes,
Club signed you for one thing and one thing only. They have enough leagues behind their back. For them, it's now about European glory. They don't worry about domestic stuff as much. Look, you can even see the way the people went on about City winning the Carling Cup. The Carling Cup, it's so small, and people still giving them praise because they actually have silverware. But nobody really cares. Because at the end of the day, they wanted the Champions League.
Yeah.
Look, it is unlucky about the draw, but like they always say, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. So you can't tell me, I didn't take on this team, I didn't take on that team or that team or that team. It means nothing. It means nothing. So, yes, he should have gone a bit further. He can only take City, like Dale said. What must still be done? He can only take City so far. What is needed We don't know. Could Aguero have made a
Another
big
400
difference? Had
million.
Aguero still been fit enough to play for them? We don't know. But like I still say, Pep should have done more. If you're going to spend close to 1 billion in players since you've been at the club, the league isn't good enough. You must can
Mm.
dominate on all fronts. Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup, any club trophy that's available, like what Pool done, must be taken
Mm.
by you if you're going to be spending so much money. I mean, as an
Mm.
investor, are you always going to sink so much money into something that's only going to bring you a small piece of pie? You're going to say, then what the hell, why do I have you here? Like Ty also said with this
Mm.
point, how you give a different coach this club? Perfect example of that. Jose Mourinho, when he left him, and what is this guy's name that took over Chelsea during the middle and he still won in the Champions League?
Di
Perfect
Matteo.
example of that.
Di
Roberto
Matteo,
Di
yeah.
There was
Matteo.
the club. Yes, yes. There was the club, the players and everything. And what he done was he took that crop, changed the whole entire attitude, and they ended up winning the Champions League. So yeah, different coach would have gotten more out of them. Same can be said with Leicester team. Put a different coach in Leicester of 2016, 2015. Would they have gone on to win the league?
No worries.
Exactly. It all comes
Mm.
down to who is running the ship for me. So yeah,
True. Dale, your thoughts?
Yo.
To add on to what Fabo has said, I see Devon asking where's Brendan. I would have loved to have him on, but he didn't respond to my message. But I will get him on. Don't worry, I will get him on. Don't worry. But Dale, what have you made? I mean, you look at like Fabo and Ty have said already. It depends on the coach. You look at a Nagelsmann that's just lost Werner, but credit to them as well. I know they're losing to PSG. I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I mean, at the beginning of the tournament, we wouldn't have said Leipzig would have gotten this far. The same with Atalanta as well. But do
Yeah.
you think? Do you think, given how much Pep has spent, that he should be doing more with this team at least? Maybe, I mean, surely getting to a semi final of a Champions League in the time that he's been here. And again, I want to ask you the question as well. Has he underachieved?
Yeah, look, like I said, for me, it's the league. The league is now. We know they can win the league. We know they have a title winning team for the league. We know for any other cup that we our domestic cups that we do have there. But the question is just that what more does he need to do? Um, how much money does he need to buy? I don't feel he needs to even spend money on his team. But Pep's problem is that he has a very competitive mindset, and I think he just overthinks things too much, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
He wants
mm,
everything to be perfect. If you look at his team that he sends out, it's rare that he sets out the same team consecutively because he just
mm,
wants that perfect team. He looks at maybe, okay, Kyle Walker played a good game on Saturday, then someone in training on Thursday and Friday put in better performance and he plays that person the next Saturday. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
So he goes in with what with players or a team that he sees that will perform over the last 2 3 days, and he puts that team in, not knowing that maybe that team of last week will actually be that same team that will give him that performance that gave him that 3-0 or 4-0 win, and that was his downfall this season.
mm,
He doesn't
that
trust the team. He
chemistry.
just goes on what on because his mind is so jumbled with, and it's not a disadvantage. But it can also
mm,
count against you if you're trying to overthink and try to think, okay, listen, these players can try and win, that performed in training, but he doesn't trust the team that was put out last week. And we know that because he messed up our fantasy teams this season as well. Because
oh,
we were hoping that he was going to keep
yeah,
that same players in, the
oh,
Agueros and
100%
Sterling
agree,
and those
bro.
players and Kyle Walker. So for me, it's just like um, City. I don't know what City can do to get to the next level. Because if Pep can't do it, and Pepe is one of the greatest. If Pep can't do it, I have a good feeling that an average coach can come in and will probably do the job because it's probably something basic. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm,
always go. It's almost like an household thing, man. We get the
yeah,
experts to do this, but then we just go and then poof, we change the bulb. You know what I'm saying? It's easy as
yeah,
that. So maybe just overthinking, and the answer is here, but he's here. So
yeah.
maybe it's not money. Maybe it's not him. Maybe it's just an average coach or someone that actually knows how to win because he. Or maybe it's just the punishment of him being fraudulent. You never know.
Mm. Yeah.
You never know. Maybe that's the punishment of him being fraudulent.
True. Look, this is actually a valid point that Davina was making, and I actually want to bring it on. This is something I wanted to actually talk about, which I actually want to get the three of your opinion on this. Do you guys like the current format? I love it. I like it actually. One leg, that's it. You win, you lose. If you lose out, it's open. What have you made of the current format? I'll actually go around the three of you again. And before I come on to Manchester United, my beer's up, so I want to get there as well. But Ty, what do you make of the current format? Hell, I wouldn't
From
want
a
the second leg against
football
Bayern Munich.
perspective, it's now obviously not in that situation. But I'm saying from a football perspective, it's never actually going to happen. Like I can't see them keeping the one leg thing for a long time because at the end of the day, remember football's all about making money. So give put it in my stadium for a game. I keep 70% of the money. The next game in your stadium, then you keep 70%. Then we both make money at the end of the day. That's how they think about it. Also, it kind of makes things more exciting when there is two legs because like sometimes you'll get an upset where first game ended. Like for example, if there was just one legs, there would have never ever been a situation like what happened with Roma and Barcelona. That would have never ever happened if it would have been two legs. The game with Barca against that would have never ever happened. So
Or the
there's
famous
an
one
element
of United
of
and PSG.
Controversial one, you mean?
so that's the thing. So there's a nice level of excitement that goes into having the two legs. And also it's like from a football perspective, like it's more football, so that makes me even happier. The one leg thing is cool because it's one game, get it done. It's better for the players, get everything done in one game. But I don't know. I just honestly prefer to get two legs. I don't know if everyone else is gonna agree with me though.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Khataya, your side?
A bit of two minds also. Like what Ty's points, the two legs, the revenue, the excitement. But for me, I like this one leg, man. There's no mind games about it. You can't come in with a mindset of, okay, I can defend this and I'll wait until I come to my home ground to finish it off.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
all out. It's go, go, go. I mean, look at the Bayern game. Like in the first 20 minutes, four goals, just like that. Pa, 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 pa. All time. That's exciting football. For me, had it also been over two legs, maybe it wouldn't have been as aggressive that Bayern would have done it. There would have been a bit more reserved because most of the time they would have thought, okay, there's still a second leg. I need to
Yeah.
make sure my players are still fit for that second game.
Yeah.
But more football, like I said, more football is always good. You always look forward to more football. No one ever wants football to end so quickly. So as I said,
True.
I'm in two minds with regards to the whole thing. There's pros and cons to all of it.
Yeah, true. Dale, how about you?
I think for this year or this season, for me it just gave me that World Cup feeling, where it's just over one leg, and if you mess up, you're out. There's
You
nothing
out
of
here.
come back next week and you're gonna try again. And this is also the
Yeah.
amount of games that the players has been playing. It's back-to-back games and stuff like that. So from the player side, it's nice one-leg games. Has, like I said, that mini World Cup feeling where it's quick. We get into the final, like literally the final is next week. You understand?
Mm.
And the quarterfinals was last week. So it's just liquor. It's game by game and stuff like that. But if it's for the players, I think we were just gonna see a lot of injuries if it was two legs this season. We're gonna see a lot of injuries. We're gonna see
Agreed.
fatigue. We're going to see players underperforming, and that's what we as supporters don't like seeing. And then we will just be able to take it back to say, nah, these players are tired because of the yellow games that they were playing. So this season, I would say one leg it's brilliant. It's a good format, but going forward, um, just for what we've seen in football, the comebacks, the comebacks of the comeback kings of United and stuff, and PSG and those things. We would love to see that. We would love to see that going forward. But right now, I understand why it needed to be done. But I'm not too sure going forward. I'm not too sure.
Look, I hear you. And now we're gonna come to the real McCoy, that why we are properly here. But what I'm gonna say to the three that's in the comments, I want you guys to throw down questions for Dale. I'm gonna get me a beer. Please excuse me. My fridge is right here. Fabo, you or Ty can open by asking Dale with a question. You can decide and dissect. You guys are going to be the host for the next, let's say, 5 minutes. It's going to take me like 5 or 2 minutes. So you guys can decide who's going to ask him questions or whatever you want to ask.
Is your fridge, how far is
Right
your
next
fridge
to
with
me.
5 minutes?
It's right next to me. So
It's gonna
I'm
take you
giving
5 minutes to fetch a beer that's in a fridge that's just there by you.
Put in the
Man, look
glass.
like thought man is gonna go get a bottle and ice and
Yeah.
chase and stuff, but the fridge is just there, bruh.
Are you
But
satisfied in your old age?
It's just here, but I'm handing my host duties for the next 5 minutes over to Ty or Fabo, and to the three that's people that are watching this live. Any comments, please feel free to throw it at Dale. So Fabo, Ty, I'll let you guys decide right now what you guys want to ask this man about United. Right here, you guys
Okay.
go.
I got the first one.
Solskjaer. Let's
There
start
we
there.
go.
Okay,
What about Solskjaer?
with your current squad now, going into next season, if you had the option to change your coach for any other coach that you can think of, or would you keep Solskjaer at the helm? What would you do?
I'd keep him, bro. I'd keep him. I'll keep Solskjaer.
Going into this
There's
new
no-
season, you like, okay, what do you keep
There's no
Solskjaer? Yeah?
doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I'd keep him. It's just that there's a few things that look at he's coming to United. No, he came to United as no one knew him. You know, he had his coaching badges. He coached a small club, and now he's at Manchester United. Okay, for me, it's like the whole idea of a coach has changed. We're no longer going for your big name coaches. We're going now for your legendary players that was part of your of your team. It's your I don't know if you can say Arteta is a legend at Arsenal, but your Arteta for Arsenal, your Lampard for Chelsea. We're talking about Xavi, an opportunity for him to come
Koeman
back as
for Barca.
a Barcelona supporter. So it's
Well,
a whole change for me. I'd love to see Ole next season with United, but there just might be some things that he needs to learn in order to control his team better and how to manage his team better. It's just
Some examples?
right now that for me,
Yeah,
it's like
where
he
is
needs
it wrong?
to.
Where?
Okay, so
You can't
Analyze
say
your game
anything.
against Sevilla. What do you think the issue was with United there?
Okay, so let's start with David Moyes. Let's start with him. Okay, he was the first person that took over from Fergie. What did we see there? What did we see from David?
Job.
Eh?
And it was a suicide job.
We saw a suicide mission. We saw our big name player come in, which was Marion Fellaini. That's your first purchase, first of all. Marion. Okay? You go into the team, you lose your locker room within the first 3 months of coaching. Okay? That was a suicide mission. Okay, that's fine. It was a mistake. Fergie made a mistake. Then we moved over. Then we went to Mr. Van Gaal. Now, Mr. Van Gaal came with his crab football. Have you ever seen a grown crab? How does a crab move? It moves sideways. That was our football.
But he
We
won
had
you
a
a
game
trip.
plan. We only won against big teams. And then we went to Mourinho, where it was defensive. We had fans shouting, attack, attack, attack. We had fans turning on Mourinho. We had players turning on Mourinho, Mourinho turning on players. And then now we have Ole. The fans love him. We have players that love him. We have players that are producing. So now we are finding, okay, listen, we are finding now this little box where everybody's getting together. Why not stick with that person? We were saying let's give coaches time, which we didn't do in the past. We said, okay, we get someone that can actually score goals. We can go to the double digit with our strikers. We have 17 goals per Marshall and Rashford. So that part is good. But when it comes to management of players, um, Bruno played until the last minute of each and every game, whereas the last 6 games he should have been brought off on the 60th minute already. So I feel like if he had to make those big decisions to take off certain players and say, listen, yeah, I am the coach. David De Gea played in a game where he wasn't supposed to be playing. He was supposed to be like, listen, yeah, you're catching on nonsense. Sit down a bit. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have that authority yet. And that for me, that's the difference between an average coach and a great coach, where you need to have authority of your team, but he just has that daddy effect, that little Ferguson effect, where you need to come with your own DNA and just plant it and stick with it. But right now he's doing good. I want him to stay. I just said that in 3 semifinals we lost 3, all 3 of it. I was hoping for a title, but I'll say stick with him, Ty and Faba. I'll say stick with him.
I got one more question for you.
Wait, time before you go on. Before you go on.
sorry.
I was just gonna run quickly there onto what Dale's saying now, no? You were saying about the whole entire thing. He needs time. He needs time to get his dressing room in order. He needs time to get his stuff right. But let's be honest, Dale. If you must come now, to a team. Now you played in your team. They bring in this coach. And this coach is struggling to win over his locker room. 6 months down the line, are you still going to respect this guy? If he really in the first few months can't do it. Tell me a coach that's ever gone through that phase of I'm about to lose my locker room. I have no authority. My senior player tells me what to do. Then a few months down the line, you honestly say they're going to change.
Did Ole lose his locker room?
He's about to. Let's be honest.
No. Let's not say he's about to or what. Did Ole lose his locker room?
No.
Yes or no? No. So why are we talking about he's about to? We don't know that. We're seeing in Manchester Evening News. We're seeing reports. Pogba is happy. We're seeing that. Are we not?
I wouldn't know.
From months before, that was an on and off thing. We had Mino fighting with United, saying this and that. Mino's quiet now. Pogba's quiet. We're hearing that he's happy, so that is stepping stones. Yes, for me, I would love to see a Pogba in my team. I would love him to be there, but I want to see a happy Pogba. And if I'm hearing Pogba is happy, that's good. If I see TT is scoring 17 goals, that's good. Rashford scoring 17 goals, that's good because we didn't have it before. We never had that before.
Wait, I got a question that kind of links with that, though.
I've got a question in the comments. Oh.
Right.
But
so
go ahead.
The question that I want to throw your way is, okay, like for example, when you were speaking about David Moyes, since he was the first coach after Alex Ferguson, which was your best ever coach, the legendary Alex Ferguson, since David Moyes was the first one after that, he had a certain level of pressure put on his shoulders. Like immediately he came into the job and they told him, you know what, give us the Champions League, give us the league. You have the squad. The squad definitely did something last year. You need to be able to do it. Do you think that Solskjaer has the same level of pressure on his shoulders? Or do you think they look at him as more of like Arteta, for example, they're like, you know what, build a squad, in the next 5 years, win us a trophy and we'll be happy?
I think that there's a little bit less pressure on Ole, because when David took over, we were fans that we expected a title, titles were there. So when we didn't see that, when we didn't see we're not fighting for anything, and we're not seeing the same type of football, we started to panic. We were like, nah, this is not what we signed up for, So just like everything else in life, if you see something, if you're used to something, and now everything shifts, you're like, okay, Fergie would have been like in the semi-finals, which actually Dangasa wasn't he made it to the quarterfinals. That should have actually told United supporters or the management. David took us to quarterfinals against Bayern, Bayern in that
Bayern, yeah,
season.
Bayern, yeah. You guys went
Yeah,
to
Bayern
Bayern.
in that season. Um, but the thing is, it's just that now Ole has less time, less pressure than what David had that time. They, I don't know if David needed more time, but with us now, there's less pressure on Ole, and that's why we can allow him to do what he's doing. Give him the time because we got rid of managers because we're expecting titles after title, or at least get us into something as big as a Premier League, ending of the Premier League first or second. And that's why people always say, like Mourinho was saying, yeah, it was his toughest time to actually get United to second because the
Mm.
pressure for United supporter, bruh, or the pressure for United manager or United player, it's still huge. Still today, it's huge.
Good, yeah.
But just to
I'll
answer your
agree with
question, less pressure on Ole now than what David Moyes had when he started after Fergie.
it. Yeah, fair enough. I've got a question actually. Those were actually good questions that Fabo and Ty asked. I was actually hoping for more banter, but I'm sure we'll come on to that later.
Nah, guys, I'm
Well,
still licking my wounds.
don't worry, I'm not done with you yet. I still have like at least a half an hour. My wife didn't call me yet to come to the room, so it's fine. Don't worry. Look, all jokes aside, you've ended on 66 points. You said there's improvement, but you ended on
Hmm,
66 points last season as well. So there can be an argument
yeah.
that everyone else around you has been shit.
Hmm,
You've also gone out of three semifinals for the first time in history, or the only club to go out of three semifinals as well. Like you said, he is a manager that doesn't command anything, and I just actually want to bring Devon's question up here. I know he needs time and everything, but sorry, wrong one actually. Sorry, my mistake. What do you think you should improve to get you across the finishing line? Because, brother, for me personally, I don't think you guys did. I think you guys on another night, you guys would have won that game. I just think over the last two games, you guys just weren't clinical enough. Like you guys couldn't finish. I couldn't understand it. I even said to Greg late in the evening, yo, bro, you can must go play for United because if I look at the chances that you guys got over the balance of both games, for you guys to score
hmm,
two goals and two penalties, reference to Manchester United, it makes me wonder. Okay, look, you don't want to put too much pressure on Greenwood. He's young, he's a kid, that's fine. Marshall is
hmm,
playing his best football right now. He's doing his individual thing and that all of that. But again, I asked the question of Rashford, who was the player that was your top scorer at one point in the season because he was obviously scoring most of those penalties. But do you think that now that Bruno is on penalty duties, it's showing up the weaknesses in Rashford? And again, like I said, do you guys think? I feel you guys still need a clinical striker, and I know my team need a centre back as well. We've got eight centre backs who can't defend for shit. But
yeah.
again, you just spent 80 million on an 80 million pound fridge as well, and you're still needing to sign a centre back. Do you think that is the problem, bro? Last question I want to ask you as well. Everyone knows the creative midfielder role is dead, so obviously you have to. Everyone's going with the route of if you're gonna go the Liverpool route with a hard-working midfield, your wingback supply, your creativity. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I know no one likes to get on him, but he's also not creating much going forward. And Brandon Williams, the same thing. So I'd just like to get your thoughts on the 3 points I made. I know it's a lot, but again, if
Yeah.
you want me to repeat the
Yeah,
questions that I've
just remind me if I forgot something. But I'll first go on to how we need to improve the team. I think it was Devi or someone that asked that question.
one back in again.
Where do you think? I think it starts from the back. I'm a heavy De Gea fan. And for me to say this, it's actually going to be quite sad, but I don't know if it is let him go, but actually just take a back seat. I think sometimes in life, as just a player, if you're a player, you just need to take a back seat. Not to say, listen, yeah, this is your punishment or whatever, but just clear your mind a little, sit on the sideline, support your team, get that fighting spirit back to be in the starting lineup. There's no if you become comfortable, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you have your favorite chair in the house and you have your favorite snacks and you become comfortable, my man, you're gonna become lazy. Things are gonna go past you. You're gonna forget things. It's there's no urgency anymore. So with the guy, there's no urgency, my man. There's no. We saw him in 27, 26, and 2017. That man was taking out balls, top bins, you know. And now it's like one on one. You like, you just can't trust him anymore. And as soon
Can't
as you
save
can't trust him,
anything. Yeah, I agree.
look, I won't say you can't save anything, but as soon as you can't trust your goalkeeper, just pull him one side a bit, man. Let's have separate training. You know what I'm saying? So for him, let's put him there. We don't get rid of him. Let's only put him there, and we bring in a number two, number one. Let me rather put it in that way. You know, let's get a replacement for him. We have a Dean Henderson, we have Ramiro. So I don't think we should change getting a new goalkeeper because we have three good keepers. But then we also can't now get rid of that 80 million fridge. It's going to look bad on us, and we can't afford to look worse. You know, so we have to do something with him. So it's Maguire, and a total new centre back.
I've got a question.
Fast. I'm now with that fast that can clean up things around that guy. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, my bro, there's nothing good about Maguire. Nothing, my man. Set pieces, corners, it's going wide. Like nothing is on target. So for me, we can't get rid of him because we can account it a loss. We bought him for 80 million, we're going to sell him for 14 million. So a new defender next year, Wan Bissaka, we bought a right back, guys. We bought a right back. We didn't buy a right wing back. We didn't buy a Trent Alexander. We bought a right back. He's doing his right back duties. We knew that when we bought him. Are you with me?
I'm with
you. He was not creative at Crystal Palace, or am I confused? Because we never bought a creativity right back. Brandon Williams, you're not a Brandon Williams fan, Davey. So with him, we do need a lift back. I agree with you. We do need a lift back. Like Alaba, hoping that maybe, that the talk of him leaving Bayern and is going to come to the Premier League club. I would like someone like Alaba. Midfield, hard worker. We need a hard worker. Hard work beats talent. All day, every day.
But so is that what Fred is there for?
Fred.
Yes. Isn't that the purpose of why you guys brought Fred?
Fred, my man.
What was the purpose of bringing Fred in? Tell me, I was going to ask. What did they say was Fred's purpose?
I know what you're talking about. What was Fred's purpose? Fred was supposed to do the same work that James Milner is doing. And are we getting that?
No.
Fred was supposed to do the same
work.
Fred is the poor man's
Jordan Henderson.
Are we getting that? No. So even comparing to lower class hard workers, we're not getting that. So I feel like we just need a player there also. A hard worker. Someone that we let go that would have fit perfectly in this United team was Ander Herrera. That was going to be our player, which we made a massive mistake on.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And our front three, brilliant. We keep it like that, but a lethal Ruud van Nistelrooy, old school, in his prime type of striker.
So who would you say that? Who would that be?
Eh?
Is that supposed to be Lukaku?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Lukaku, but Lukaku in the Premier League was on and off, man. Let's.
No.
Yes, he was on and off.
He was
Sorry?
off at United. He was on everywhere else.
He was on and off at United.
You gave us almost 20 Premier League goals in his first season. Please, man. Please. He gave us almost 20 Prem goals in his first season at United.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He let himself go. He was fire in the first year, and he had a decent season.
You can't blame United. You can't blame United if his first touch was poor.
What is he doing at Inter? What is he doing at Inter? What was he doing before he came to United?
My man,
actually,
if you want quick recognition, you go to the Italian league. Don't tell me about Inter.
Wow.
Don't tell me about Inter.
So,
Don't tell me about
but
Inter.
it's also the system.
The Premier League is a tough league, my man. You work hard there. You work
So
hard.
that's what Pogba is. Pogba's
What?
quick recognition. Pogba's vibe.
I'm not going to
I
comment on
think it
that.
has to do with the
I'm not gonna
system that
comment.
United was playing Lukaku
I'm not-
under.
I'm not going to comment. Look, I'm not going to, like I said, yes, the mistake about United was not letting him go. It was not replacing him. That was United's mistake.
Mm.
Our
Agreed.
But
players,
in the
our
defense
players will
of
get-
United, think of it like this. When they let Lukaku go, the thought was, okay, wait, we have Rashford, who's in the England squad. He's scoring goals. He looks like he can be our main guy. And then that was
Yeah.
why you guys never signed a backup. Then you guys also like, okay, wait, if something should happen, we have Martial, who was a striker back in the day. He can maybe provide that competition. And we have this quite youngster coming through the academy, Greenwood, who looks like he can be quite. So we have 3 strikers. We should be sorted. Then
he
when you
looks like
guys
what?
realized Rashford couldn't, Greenwood, no, like Greenwood looks like he's a good potential. He's a good talent for the future. And then you guys had 3 strikers. So it was in the first few games of the season when you started seeing, wait, Rashford's positioning is way off. Rashford's a bit wasteful, and then it started looking like a mistake to sell him. The thought behind it was actually good. Like, I understand why United thought, okay, let's let go of Lukaku. Let's get the money in. Then we can invest that in a defender, and we have 3 strikers, so we sorted. The issue wasn't with Lukaku; it was with the system he was playing under. Because as much as people like to say the Serie A is an easy league and all of this, the difference between United and Inter Milan is, at United, you guys were giving Lukaku through balls every game where his first touch had to be on point. At Inter Milan, they have Lautaro Martinez, who does all the hard work. He literally runs everywhere in attack. Then he just passes the ball to Lukaku. Lukaku just to shoot and score. That's why majority of his goals, there was the statistic that they showed in the Serie A where majority of his goals this season came within 3 touches. So he'll touch the ball outside the box, steady himself, and then just shoot. That's the way he does it. That's how he scores majority of his goals. So that's the issue. Whereas he was the lone striker at United, at Inter Milan, he has this youngster next to him that's doing all the hard work. So I think with United, the issue was that you guys never replaced him, but the thought behind it was good. Like, okay, wait, it's the same thing like Lacazette this season. Like, everyone would think, wait, we have Lacazette, we have Aubameyang. These two are gonna score somewhere between 50, 60 goals between the two of them. You wouldn't know that Lacazette would go on a bad run of games, and Aubameyang would need to keep it. That's the thing. So that's the gambles you take in football.
You had a question.
That was the gamble you are taking, and for me, it's just that, like I said, it was that whole formation. If I look at it from a simple point of view, I was gonna see that Rashford, or that time Daniel James, Martial, were gonna run past him in our counter attacks. You know, if I look at the way that we were playing on the D outside the box, United's brilliant. United's brilliant with a touch, beat the player. It's just that, all that opportunities just need to turn into goals. They could have easily been 23 goals this season or 24 goals this season in the Premier League. Could have easily beaten, probably going to get in the topic now, Sevilla. But it's just that's where a lethal vintage or experienced striker will get one up on them. And that's maybe what we do need. Just someone that's going to give us that hold the ball up, the fighting spirit, and maybe just someone that can also just get in there, man. Spice things up a little bit. We're too soft. We're still too soft.
So who would you say is that striker?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Now I'm asking Nelson, who would you say is that striker then?
Realistically.
Yeah, realistically. Because it's open season now to sign a striker. Chelsea's got Varane already.
Yeah. I can't for what United need now. I'm hoping that we'll get someone similar to a Lewandowski. I know we won't get a Lewandowski, But that is a type of striker that we do need, that can score with a left foot, a right foot, and with the head, because the opportunities are coming in. But for me, there's no striker that I can think of now that we can get that's of his quality and with his price tag.
I
I
know
know
of
two
one.
players that if United
I
could have
know of
taken a
one that
shot
still
at.
didn't sign a contract yet at his club.
Who?
Aubameyang.
Yeah,
didn't sign.
people saying
Don't
Aubameyang
sign his deal yet.
will turn out fine in the United squad, but then we also need. I like the way Ole is going. You know, we busy with the young squad. You know, how long are we gonna have Aubameyang for? 2-3 seasons, and we're gonna have to replace him again.
Fair enough,
What
but
is
look
he?
how he looks after his
He's
body.
31.
He's still one of the quickest in the Premier League. He's still one of the most lethal. What about Harry Kane then also? Harry Kane
Yeah,
get
man,
more
He's too
injuries.
injury prone.
He's injury prone again. Aubameyang's older than him, but look, Aubameyang looks after himself.
Yeah.
I
But what
got
I'm
3
saying is,
shouts
how much?
actually, like 3 solid shouts for United.
There are 3,
I
but
think
what price
United
tag are
could
we
go
looking at?
for
No,
if
United needs to go. United needs to go into this transfer needing 4 players, and that 4 players are going to determine whether we're going to be a title winning team. Not a FA Cup winning team. Not that old days of our life trophies. No, we need to win a Premier League or a Champions League. So for 4 players that we need now, we can't just focus on a striker. We need from our defenders right through to a striker. That's going to be the 4 players that's going to determine whether we're going to win a title next season or not. So getting Harry Kane for 100 million, then we're still short on the other players. We're going to perform. If we're going to get a striker, no, we're going to perform for 10 games. Then we're going to drop. We always do that. We need to have a consecutive team, and we need to have depth in our team. Our bench needs to be players that can turn around. Right now, we don't have that. We have Pereira, we have Daniel James, we have old Johnny Carlo, we have Jesse Lingard. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get a squad that's going to be strong enough to take on. And a striker is not just going to change that because we're going to have a situation whereas you have a team like Chelsea where they're going to attack, but their backline is nonsense.
True.
So we just need 4 players.
How do you feel about about United again? Look, we've always said we don't want to go into the Champions League because you have to be very clear of why you want to play Champions League. Do you want to play Champions League?
No, you
for the
can't.
music
You
and
didn't make it
playing
into the Champions League. Don't come with that, David.
No,
Sorry?
I was honest.
Don't come with that.
Listen to all my chats. Every
Look,
single
I've
chat
always
I've
been
ever
criticism,
given Devon. My opinion's never been different. I don't
This
want
is
to
why.
be in the Champions League. My
If
team
we
isn't
go
ready.
to the Champions League now, we'll get slapped. You have to be very careful as to why you want to go into the Champions League. Do you want to go to the Champions League to watch football on a Wednesday and listen to the music and get slapped? Or do you want to compete?
No,
What's Tristan's favorite word? So sout in the pot. That's all you're gonna be there.
That's the thing. So again, where do you think United need to strengthen? I know we don't like talking about United, and I'll come on to Ty as well. Ty had a question for Dale also. Ty did say he's got 3 strikers in mind. Where do you think they need to strengthen? And Dale says 4 players will get them contending for leagues. I don't know what sweet he's eating. That must be Daka sweets, but okay. That's my opinion.
With chili beans, my guy.
He is well entitled to that opinion. But where do you think they need to go? Because remember how many points behind Liverpool?
No, everybody was how many points behind Liverpool. But look, for me, like you also said, Dale, the whole entire Dave situation. Previous that we had, you said the same thing about Dave. You said we have to put your trust in Dave. And so on your last semi-final. So I asked you the question, so would you play him so you can gain that confidence again? You said, yes, play him again. But look what happened when you played him again. He caught on nonsense again. Like I always said,
that is why I said I cannot trust him now.
Yes, now you can't trust him. But like I said, even back then, it's time that he takes a back seat. He needs to get that hunger back again. He needs to see a Henderson that's gonna be there and say, okay, oh shit, I actually might actually lose my spot now. Because
Yeah.
at the moment he knows I'm not going to lose my spot. Look what he did in the previous game. He caught on so much shit, but he knew Romero was never gonna get in over him. Now with Henderson there, it could be a different kettle of fish. And I agree. So for me, that's you guys. That's your first issue you guys need to look at. Drop Dave, give Henderson the first couple of games on the start of the season. Just so Dave can actually see there actually is competition. Because he has that attitude of there's no competition when it comes to me. Next one, defense. Like you said, slab it. Yeah, I know Mustafi is bad, but Mustafi has never been that bad. I've heard of no look goals, never heard of no look defending. That was my forever end against Sevilla. The whole team was screaming, what is Maguire looking at? He's looking there, okay, where am I now gonna go to after this game? I'm looking at Solskjaer who's sitting in my dugout trying to think up of what tactics should I ask for now.
How about you?
That's the communication the two of them
Browns
had
woman.
as the game was going on. Solskjaer didn't know what he was doing in that dugout. Solskjaer still looks lost. But the two of them is communicating with each other, saying lost one is looking at lost two. What must lost what should I do together?
It's nice winning an FA Cup, nah? So you can talk like this.
Hey,
I just
years from now,
That's what I
people
come
will
down
remember
to.
in the third.
Nobody remembers who came second or third. That's what it all comes down to. Tell me 10 years ago who came second. You can't, because nobody remembers them. So
True.
for me, yes, your defense needs a massive looking at. Um, from there, your midfield and attack is good.
We can
I'll
still
give you that.
Lacazette. Ronald, no man. Sorry,
Ronald
Faba.
played
No,
first, man.
no, sorry. No,
Ronald played
no.
Look,
Give me
Um,
Pierre, but not Lacazette. I already have
your
Marshall. I'm
midfield
happy.
Look, your midfield is good. You guys are doing the job there. I'm still gonna say Bruno is too overhyped. Look, the Brads has been scoring penalties, so I don't know where the hype is also coming from.
Just can I just stop it there quickly? What is
Okay.
up with this whole penalty thing? He's just scoring penalties. Guys,
How
I
many
know you
goals
now
did-
for a very long time. I know you all for a very long time. There was a season
that-
where Lampard scored 15 in his best ever season. We never went on
Yeah.
with him about that. We never went
Yeah.
on about him. Oh, Lampard is Mr. Penalty and stuff. Goal is the goal. My thing is this:
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
awarded a penalty if you cannot control the striking force of the opposing team. You made a mistake. That's why Rio
Let's go back
Ferdinand
to
has
the
a
video.
hashtag.
Yeah. I wanna bring up
Stay
some-
on
yeah.
your feet.
I'm gonna bring up Sevilla. Nah?
That was a soft
penalty-
penalty that was awarded against Sevilla.
Yes, that 5th minute penalty. Are you honestly gonna say it's a penalty? Take your
Yeah.
bias
No.
away. Take your bias away. Be as an honest football fan watching a game, and you can honestly watch the game.
I need to check it again. I need to check it
I've
again.
never seen them given. To be honest, to be fair, I've never seen them given. But then again, you have to ask the question: if that's in the middle of the pitch, that is a free kick, though. But again, you know they have different rules for penalties.
We can't
and
say that, baby. We can't say if it was in the middle of the pitch. It's in the box.
Yeah,
We
it's
can't,
in the box,
hypothetically
I know.
speaking.
true.
That's soft.
I thought
Yes,
it was
it's soft.
but
But
I
Yeah,
was
but the
biased.
definition of a
if you
penalty
Arsenal and you
or
awarded these
foul
penalties,
is
penalties are
the
punishment.
definition of a foul or
for
penalty
defend-
is I am preventing this player from scoring a goal or from getting an
Thank
opportunity
you.
to score. So when he took
What
that
happened
shot
with Rashford?
and he took the shot already, 5 seconds later the tackle happens. That's not a foul. I don't think that was a
Thank you.
penalty because he
Thank
didn't
no,
technically
yes, and-
stop the guy from shooting. He tackled him afterwards. That shouldn't have been a penalty.
Guys, shot was taken. Man comes out sliding here. Man comes out sliding. We also need to look at the intention. He was wanting to block the ball. He didn't. He got the player, took the player under his feet. That's a penalty, guys. That's a penalty.
Okay,
I
so think of it
know
like
what
this:
you're
if
saying.
you one on one with a goalkeeper, and I'm about to
Just
shoot,
like the
I'm trying
second
to
one.
finesse the ball around the keeper. The keeper comes out, and I run into him, but his knees just so happens to take me out. Is that a penalty then? If I miss the target,
Why
it's the
was
same
Pogba
thing.
sent off?
He took me down
Why was
after I
Pogba
took the
sent
shot.
off? Why was Pogba sent off at the Emirates 2 seasons ago?
That's a stamp. That's studs. That's
No,
different.
no, 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 no,
Don't
no, 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 no,
he
no, no, no,
placed
no,
his
no.
down on I think it was
He
Koscielny. I'm
placed
not,
his foot down. The ball was long time gone. It was the follow through. Okay, look, watch the clip again. Ball was past it. It was long gone. He placed his foot down, and it was the follow through that made it look bad. Tell me if I'm wrong.
you're right, but then again,
All
look
I
at the
know
two
is
challenges. Which one
Now,
does
thank
more like
there
you.
was a
it?
game
The
this
man was sent off.
season
That man
where
was sent
Real
off.
Madrid
Here
played
we have a
against
guy being
Espanyol, and it was
punished.
the exact same thing. But when they viewed it back on VAR, they
Hmm?
What did you say, Ty?
Huh?
Huh?
hello.
Chris.
Your audio
What's
That
happening
died.
man
now?
just stopped me,
Go ahead.
bro.
We lost you. You said VAR.
What about VAR?
Nah, I
Uh,
think my audio stopped.
Oh,
Oh, okay, wait. There was a
VAR.
game this season where Real Madrid was playing, and then the exact same thing happened. And the difference between that and the United game was, as Benzema was taking the shot, the player got the ball in front of the poles, but he got Benzema's leg first. Then that caused the ball to go away from the poles, and then that's why the referee gave the penalty. The difference
Yes.
between that and the United game was Rashford. I think it was Rashford. He took the shot.
Yes.
The ball left his foot. If the ball went in, it would have been a goal. Then he got tackled. So that by the law, that shouldn't be a foul. Like I get if it was a
okay.
dangerous tackle, give
So,
the player a red card and
so
whatever. If he injured him, it was dangerous. But it was a tackle that it was just a tackle that the
that
referee
was
just thought, okay,
that is
wait,
what
it's
you get
United, let's
punished
just
for,
give him a
Tyron.
penalty, ma.
That's what you get punished for. It's a late tackle. The ball
No,
was.
how is it a
Let's just say you're in
mistake?
the midfield. Let's just say you're in the midfield. Let's just say you're in the midfield. Guys, my battery's gonna die now also, so I'm also gonna be out of here soon.
yeah, nah,
Let's
let's
just say
get your.
you're in the midfield where you have a ball, you pass it. No? Poof, a guy comes and he tackles you, although the ball was passed already. What is that? Is it a foul?
Yeah. Wait. No, but remember
Thank you.
the difference
And you
between
just
that
said
two
a couple
is
of minutes ago, you can't
that
compare the middle of
is
to the
part of
penalty.
a play that's leading to a goal.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
If because for all you know, that pass would have went into the box and would have scored a goal. Rashford's
Exactly.
shot was going either into the net or it was going wide. It was going nowhere else. The play was going to end after that shot. That's the point. A passing game is
Guys,
different because that could have
all I'm
led
gonna
to a
say
goal.
is
That's how they judge red cards.
all I'm gonna say
Okay.
is Davey, my battery's gonna die, so I wanna leave you with this. I wanna
I
leave you
want
with
to ask
this.
you one more question. Go ahead. I want to
Okay?
ask you, what do you think of Bruno and Lindelof's love stuff?
There's a
Your
do you know
Portuguese.
no? Do you know what,
Answer,
Your
man?
Portuguese.
you answer,
Lindelof,
man.
And
We're
your,
just
Lindelof,
one year.
Lindelof was
your
wrong.
Portuguese
Lindelof was
cleverly.
wrong. But the way Bruno approached him, I don't know what happened there, but that guy was just trying to defend himself. But Lindelof was totally wrong. But that meme or that the remake that was made about the Indian voices in the background,
Bloody.
brilliant. But all I want to say, guys, before I go is, hi, my name is Dale. I'm a Manchester United supporter, and next year we're going to win the league.
Lovely stuff. I'll remember that. Thanks, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Cheers. Keep well.
Sporting.
See you, Daniel. It was awesome talking to
Cheers,
you.
man. Yeah, but that's him. Let's get on to it. Let's carry on. So we are at Europa. Inter winning 5-0 last night. What have you guys made of Lukaku? Getaye, I'll start with you.
Look, you can see he's finding that old form again. Why you put it like this? You can see why United paid that money for him until obviously his United spell. You can see he's more revitalized. Conte's actually playing him how he's supposed to be played. He's not supposed to do doing all those touches and this and all that. Simple as just release him into a space, let him touch and let him shoot. Especially taking this last goal. All he did was they got the ball, he got the ball, 1, 2 touches, and he ran onto it. Because he's a big guy, you're never going to outbody this, bruh. And what did he do?
True.
Power, one shot, goal. Simple as that. He's happier. But overall, if I look at the whole Inter game, and what's the name? It was a shocker. That defense, yeah. I think they caused three of their own mistakes of those goals. The keeper with the first one with a horrible out kick. The fourth goal, I think it was it? It was Lukaku's first goal that he scored, where the defender just crossed the day from the wing out all the way set into an Inter player. I was like, how do you do something like that? It was just mistake after mistake. But for me, I think if any team deserves it, I think Inter deserves it.
Inter, true, yeah. Tai, actually, I want to bring you on to this because Barcelona are interested in Lautaro Martinez. Look, Lukaku and Martinez have 51 goals between them this season as well. That's mad. I see you guys are looking at offloading a couple of players, Suarez being one of them. Do you
Mhm.
do you think he is your main target? I mean, Suarez is getting a bit older as well. I hear you all listening to offers for Griezmann, 107 million, that type of thing. Would you say he is one of your main targets, especially if you want to rectify that up front as well, because he is an explosive player?
Yeah, he is the main target that Barcelona is currently after, especially because
Hmm.
obviously he plays in Argentina, so he has that Messi connection with him.
Make the connection
Um,
exactly.
and also, and also in a interview that Schweiz had with the Mundo, he had an interview in which he basically they asked him, "Who do you think is the best player to play to fill your boots when you leave?" And then he personally mentioned Lautaro Martinez also. So Lautaro Martinez is the mold of Suarez. Like it's the only players in the
Hmm.
world that I can say would successfully actually replace Suarez is Lautaro and Gabriel Jesus. Like that two players that as soon as a defender gets a ball, he's on you, he's pouncing. You'll never see them jump up and contesting for balls. Instead, they always just leaning back against the defender, like waiting for that little balls just to come their way. They love being the center of attack and just trying to play around them. And at the same time, the thing that counts in Lautaro's favor is the fact that Lautaro is so good at scoring these goals from the weirdest positions. Like he'll be
Hmm.
right next to the line and he'll just hit it and somehow we'll get it in. Like he's a he's the perfect mold of a hungry forward. And at the end, I mean, right now that's what Barca need. Someone that when Messi plays the ball, when there's something happening in the middle, he's just running everywhere. You'll see him 1 minute he's right wing, 1 minute he's left wing, 1 minute he's a center mid. He's just everywhere on the pitch, always wanting to be part of it. And as soon as you're on the attack, that's when he's just running straight towards goal on his way about to attack. And with regards to the players Barcelona selling, yeah, like I saw there was this one newspaper thing where they said there's 17 players from the Barcelona team that they put up for sale. I know there's going to be a lot of players leaving. I know there's going to be a lot of business being done. And it all actually has to do with whether or not the current board is going to be leaving sooner because there is a motion of tarnish, which they've been pushing forward, which means if that is successful, the current board will be pushed out and a new president will take over. And the guy who everyone is, or the guy who looks favored to win is Victor Font, and he just believes in this the team is going to be rebuilt around La Masia. So then, in a situation like that, I'd be hopeful if Latayo comes in, but there is a lot of potential in the La Masia squad that can fill the entire team. Like there is so much gems in there,
That's what I wanted to
but
ask you. Why don't you go look
because
at Lamassia? What's happening there?
the thing is, in all honesty, I wrote a blog about it still. In all honesty, we have players in every single position in the La Masia to fill our entire squad. Like literally, I'm not even joking. Every single position, we have some sort of a quiet youngster that's ready. The issue is we have so much Obalis in our current team that they won't get any sight at it because I mean, think about it. We have a player called Oriel Busquets who's out at FC20 now, out on loan. He was voted their player of the season, and he was playing in 3 different positions. He's a holding midfielder, but they played him as a centre back and a right back this season. But he was voted their player of the season. That's the first time in the history that a player on loan has ever done that. He will never get a sight-in because in the same position we have Sergio Roberto, who can play anywhere in the midfield. We have Frankie de Jong, who's trying to claim that, and we have Sergio Busquets. So what do you do with a youngster like that? That's the youngster that's then sold to another team. He becomes a star. Danny Olmo was at Barcelona because he couldn't get a sight-in. He got sold, and now he's playing for RB Leipzig. There is talent in La Masia. The only position I can actually point out that we don't have someone solid that's coming up is a striker. So in a dream world, all of our La Masia players would be our entire B team would be pushed to the first team, and then I would just sign Lautaro Martinez, and I think my team would be fine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but look, we're coming to the end. We've touched on the rumors. I just want to Leipzig are out. Who would you guys say, Fabo? I'll start with you. Who would be your surprise package of the Champions League this season? Bear in mind, Leipzig have gotten this far. There's an Atalanta that you can throw, but which team has surprised you? And again, the second question I'm going to ask you is, who is our player of the week, European player of the week?
Okay, I'll start with the player of the week. I have to give it to Mueller. Manager's been on form, creating and everything for that Bayern team. Surprise package, I can't give it. Unfortunately, with Leipzig now out, unfortunately, there's no more surprises. I highly doubt there's going to be anyone that can stand up against Bayern. Yeah, that's me.
But if you would have to say Leipzig is out now, all good and well, but who would you say has been over the course of the European
the whole entire program?
Yeah, the whole program, course of the Champions League, course of the Europa.
Atalanta for me. They are the Leicester of Italy. No one expected them to be as high as they are in the league, and especially to get this far in the Champions League.
True. I have to agree with that. Ty, your side?
I'm going to have to go. Okay. I can't go for Atlanta because of the way that Atlanta built their team. Like, to be honest with you, Atlanta is one of the most, if you really read into them, they're one of the most interesting teams in the world at this moment. Like, do you know all of their tactics coaches aren't actual soccer coaches? Like, they are American football coaches that's been signed because of the type of styles that they play that side. They were brought over and they adapt theirs into our soccer kind of tactics. Their training academy is exactly the same as Dortmund's. When their youngsters are training, they don't divide them up. So they're under 7s train here, they're under 9s train here. This is where they're under 21s train, and then right after that, that's where their first team trains, because they want their youngsters to always be watching what the first team is doing. And that's literally how they train. They always train at the exact same time every single day. They are so interesting, and I think there's going to be so much coming out of them in the next few years, especially with their signing policy. I think his name is Pasalic. Their central midfielder, was at Chelsea. He's 25 years old now. He was loaned out from the age of 18. Every single season, he was sent out on loan. Atlanta's the first team to sign him, and now he was the one that scored the ripper in their last game with his left foot. He's the one that's been their stand-up player of the season. Zapata hasn't scored over 10 goals for any club since he was 21 years old. He's now 29, and now he's having the season of his life because they know how to bring the best out of him. Every single player in their team, you can look at and you can see as one point this person has been a flop somewhere else, and they happen to have him in their team, and they just make magic with their players. But if we're going for the biggest underdog of the season, the surprise package in the Champions League, it has to go to Lyon, because it's a team that started off really bad under Silvino as their coach. They were struggling. They couldn't get that, like I told you how much goals they conceded the season. They were struggling. Out of nowhere, they just started finding form. They started getting the most out of Moussa Dembele, who now ended the season with 19 goals next to his name. Cornet was playing the best football he's played out of his entire career. And then Adelaide picked up a horrible injury, came back, and now he was the star in the last game for them in the Champions League. And also, even though they're going up against Bayern, even we were speaking about it earlier that there's a possibility that Leon might do it. So I think they are exactly like Ajax was last season, and
Hmm.
I think that there is a possibility that Leon might even make it to the final because we've seen stranger things happen. So I would
True.
go for Leon.
Player? Your player
What's
of
what's the question?
your
Player
player
of
of
the
the
week.
round. Player of the week. European round.
Oh, player of the week. Let me go to the Europa League. To be honest with you, someone that I looked at and I always thought that there was potential there, but I saw specifically that he actually is so good is Kunde. He's a defender from Sevilla. He's the youngster with the puff that was playing for Sevilla against United. He was brilliant when you consider he's only 20 years old. And he was commanding that defense. Every 5 seconds, you see him doing something. He's running up and down, picking up the ball, creating attacks. When they're attacking, he's jumping over. He's jumping over Rashford and everyone just to win headers. Like I think he's my player of the week.
Okay, fair enough. I actually wanted to ask you about Diego Carlos. I'm gonna agree with Fabo. I'm gonna go with Atalanta. My player, I would have said Muller, but I have to go with Alfonso Davies just because I love the guy, man.
Yeah.
I love him. I think him and
Yeah,
Robertson are the
Alfonso
two
Davies
best
is
left
so
backs
good.
in the world. Yeah, him and Robertson are the two best left backs in the world. I can't say make an argument for Kieran Tierney. Not yet though, still too soon. But yeah, those Alfonso Davies, yeah, he's come on leaps and bounds. The same with Atalanta as well. But yeah, Ty, that's brought the end to a show. Fabo, you said you have a blog. How can we check out your blog? Give us some info. Ty,
Right.
freeze.
Oh, no, I
Did you
thought you said
freeze?
Fabo. Sorry.
No, I
No, I'm
said,
here.
how can we check out your blog? Give us some info.
I didn't specifically publish the stuff yet. What I do is I write content for another page which is Talk FCB, and then basically I write content for them, and then everything goes onto their channel. So if you check out Talk FCB on YouTube and things like that, then specifically some of their topics they've is actually ones that I've written before. So then I write the stuff and then I just send everything to them. So if you check out that channel, you'll see everything.
Okay, cool. Lovely stuff. Leave it in the comment. Can I ask you to leave it in the comments actually so the viewers can check it out?
Yeah, okay, I will.
Yeah, true. Even leave it on your Insta page or whichever. I want to thank you for coming on. I'm sure we will do the show next week because it is going to be semi-final and final week of our Euro Roundup. Fabo, as always, thank you for coming on. Anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like? That's been
Just
nothing
excited
else.
for Sunday. Excited for
Mhm.
Sunday.
Excited for Sunday. Last question. PSG are through. Who's going to win the Champions League?
Bayern.
Bayern.
I'm going to be the one on the fence. I'm going to go for PSG for Mbappe. I know Bayern are the stronger team, but anything can happen, man. You never know. But guys, I really, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're nearly going for 2 hours. We'll have a show next week, another Euro Roundup show. Yeah, sure, yeah. I'm
I
gonna
didn't
try
even
and
look
get
at the
Brendan
time.
on. I'll try and get Brendan on and more people to come on as well. Make it very interactive. I want to thank Dale. I want to thank everyone in the comments as well. Smash a like on the side. Only takes 2 seconds. Like they say in YouTube language, this is cryptocurrency. The likes. But it's your boy DVD at Fabo. It's Ty, and we are out.
Shorting boys.
See you guys.